When you lose someone dear, you start living for others. It was a quiet night in San Diego, but inside the hospital, the world was anything but still. The beeping of machines, the hurried footsteps of doctors, the whispers of nurses, it all blurred together for Richard Nares. His son, Emilio, lay on the hospital bed, frail and weak, caught in a battle between life and death. "Papa, will I get better soon?" Emilio asked softly, his small fingers gripping his father's hand. Richard forced a smile, though his heart was breaking. "Of course, my son. You'll be home in no time." But deep down, he knew the truth. For months, Richard had lived in this hospital, watching helplessly as his son endured painful treatments, chemotherapy, and endless medications. And then, the machines fell silent. The doctors looked away. Emilio's tiny chest stopped rising and falling. Richard's world shattered. He wandered the hospital corridors aimlessly, lost in his grief. But then, through teary eyes, he noticed something: parents sitting outside the hospital, some carrying their sick children in their arms, waiting for public transport. "Why are you here?" Richard asked a mother holding a frail child. She sighed, wiping her tears. "The hospital is far, we have no car, my son is too sick to walk." That moment changed everything for Richard. How many children lose their lives just because their families can't afford transportation? That night, Richard made a vow: if he couldn't save Emilio, he would save every other child who needed help. The very next morning, he took his car and started offering free rides to families struggling to get to the hospital. One ride turned into 10. 10 turned into hundreds. And soon, his small act of kindness became a movement. Richard founded the Emilio Nares Foundation, which now provides free transportation for over 25,000 sick children every year. Each time he drives another child to the hospital, he whispers to himself, "Emilio, I lost you, but through you, I am saving thousands." If we don't protect nature, one day, nature will abandon us. In a quiet town in Moline, Illinois, a young boy named Chad Pregracke grew up by the Mississippi River. He spent his childhood fishing with his father, dreaming by the water's edge. But as he grew older, he saw a horrifying reality. The river that once shimmered under the sun was now drowning in garbage. One day, Chad stood by the water, staring at the endless waste: plastic bags, rusted tires, broken furniture. His heart sank. "This isn't the river my father showed me." Something had to be done. He put on gloves, took a boat, and started picking up trash, one bag at a time. People laughed. "What difference can one man make?" Chad smiled. "If not me, then who? If not now, then when?" Days passed. Then weeks. Then months. At first, he was alone. But then, one person joined him. Then another. Then 10. Then 100. Chad founded Living Lands and Waters, a non-profit organization that would soon lead the largest cleanup effort in U.S. history. Today, his team has removed white heavy checkmark 67,000 tires. White heavy checkmark 218 washing machines. White heavy checkmark 19 tractors. White heavy checkmark 12 bathtubs. White heavy checkmark 4 pianos. White heavy checkmark over 1,000 refrigerators from the Mississippi River. One day, an old fisherman approached him, eyes brimming with tears. "Chad, you brought our river back to life." Chad looked at the river, now cleaner than it had been in decades, and he could almost hear the waves whispering, "Thank you, Chad, you saved me." Richard Nares and Chad Pregracke proved that one person can make an extraordinary difference. One father, who turned his unbearable grief into a lifeline for thousands. One man, who refused to let a river die. If each of us chooses just one good cause to fight for, the world will become a better place.